All right, Chris. In honor of Trump going through the inauguration yesterday, I think I need a drink to celebrate our new president. We'll go with that. So I found a little bitty bottle of Corbel champagne. Yeah, it's not going to cut it. Yeah, so Trump is the president now. Officially, it actually happened. I listened to some of his inaugural address on NPR, and yeah. No, I'm not actually chugging a bottle of vodka. This has got water in it. Movie magic, but the point still stands. Trump has been inaugurated. His inaugural address I found to be frighteningly isolationist. The only thing in there that I found of any value was him talking about building infrastructure, the infrastructure reforms that he wants to bring to the United States. And I found it really interesting because after NPR played that portion of his inaugural address, they actually mentioned that Trump's speechwriters probably included that in there because that is something that virtually everybody can agree on. There's a lot of roads, a lot of infrastructure in the United States that needs to be repaired, especially out here in Washington. The two main bridges to get across the Columbia River are functionally obsolete. They work, but they're old and they're in bad shape and they need to be replaced. And our governor is hoping, even though he didn't support Trump, hoping that we will get money to have those rebuilt because it is going to be expensive and it needs to happen. A couple years ago, we actually had a incident out here where a semi-trailer clipped a support member for a bridge and it collapsed the bridge and dropped like 14 or 15 cars into a river. Nobody died, if I remember correctly. We'll have to look that up. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But there's not much else about the speech that I found positively illuminating. NPR interviewed a lot of people who were there for their opinions on things, and there's a few people that they interviewed that I have issue with. One in particular who claimed that even though he did not vote for Trump, now that Trump was elected, it was his duty as an American to support the president, to support the leader. And this idea I found most offensive, even beyond just the isolationist, thinly veiled racism of Trump. The idea that simply because Trump got elected in our broken system, we as Americans should support him. Because our country was founded on not supporting leaders who were not representing the population. We're not there for us. Our government is for us. And if it's not helping us, it is not doing its job. And the ideas that Trump has proposed will not help us in the long run. And I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud on how I feel about this stuff. I will be willing to wait and see. And perhaps Trump will be satisfied feeling like he's had this great victory and he's super awesome because the man is a fucking narcissist. I had heard a couple of articles that claimed this about him, and I looked up in the DSM-5 the signs and symptoms. I don't know what they actually call it in there. Signs and symptoms is what we called it when I was a medic. Of narcissism, and he's got all of them in spades. He refuses to admit when he's wrong. He claims to be the best at everything, and one in this one that really stuck out in my mind was talking about hacking and anything to do with computers, really, because at one point he makes the claim that, oh, these people, I think he was talking about the CIA when they were talking about figuring out hacking. These people can't know who it actually was because, computers are complicated. I've got a son who can do amazing things with a computer. And then in another interview, he's like, I know hacking. I know a lot about computers. And there's no way that they could have figured that out. I keep saying the next 4 years are going to be interesting, and I really do think that it would be fascinating to watch from an external perspective. Unfortunately, I do not have an external perspective. I am in the middle of this as an American. What I honestly believe is going to happen is Trump's refusal to surrender his businesses, his refusal to reveal his tax returns, are going to come out that he is doing things he is not allowed to do as a president. And I really do believe that we might, for the second time, see a president removed from office. And I know Nixon wasn't removed, he left, but he would have been removed had he tried to stay. And I strongly suspect that Trump will try to stay and he will be forcibly removed. It will be interesting to see how this plays out, and if it does happen, what I hope happens is that the proceedings start sometime within the next year, which would make him an ineffective leader, because once that happens, people are going to get bogged down on that, and they won't be trying to implement some of his more ludicrous ideas. And then I hope that the proceedings take a while, and when he does get kicked out, Mike Pence has no time to do anything that he might like to do. Essentially, what I'm hoping for is that the next 4 years are going to be a wash politically, and that nothing will really happen, and that people will finally get their heads out of their asses, which I am very doubtful of. My job's going great. I'm finally getting my legs under me there and understanding what I'm doing. I actually have to spend some time today getting ready for next week because we're going to start teaching 8th graders about simple machines like screws and planks and levers and pulleys and wheels and stuff. That's my big news. I hope things are going well with you. Stay safe.